They were the defending Super Bowl champions, and they were playing the Giants on the last day of the season to have the #1 seed.
And so during that game, right before the half, I hurt my shoulder pretty bad.
Run down by Greg Jackson, and Smith is hurt.
When I went into the locker room, I didn't know if I was going to be able to continue to play. And then all of a sudden, they're like, okay, there's not much we can do for it right now, but you can't hurt it any worse. But we need you in this game.
Here comes Emmitt Smith with that extra padding in place inside his shoulder pad.
Emmitt was a warrior, and that was one of the most gutsy experiences that I've ever seen, especially at a running back position where guys are trying to take you out and they know you're hurt.
You know, Smith may only have one arm, but they're still going to him. Not only is he a tough guy, not only is he in there, but he's the go-to guy.
You have to have courage, and you have to have faith. And that was one of those moments where I had to step up with courage and have faith that I was going to be okay.
Cowboys win! What a great game.
They'll never forget the day Emmitt Smith ran 32 times for 170 yards, did most of it with one arm.
Don't give up!
Don't give up!
You're gonna get it! Hard to me, I'm hungry.
This game is over. It's like, well, certainly they can't pick up a first down on 4th and 26.
Basically told our slot receiver, Freddie Mitchell, find a way to get open.
So now it's 4th and 26. Plenty of time. Down the middle, it's Mitchell. They're going to get forward progress and a first down.
Fred X stood up and did his little thing. We all just moved on and watched the Philadelphia Eagles do their thing.
Akers. The field goal is good. The Eagles move on. And what a job yet again.
You know, you hope you do a game where there's that one moment. That was kind of jaw-dropping.
It was real. Like, these teams really didn't like each other. It was so fun.
Everything you got!
Anything else in that game
Oh my
that
God.
stands out to you?
Oh, just like Russell Wilson making magic happen, man. Oh.
4th and 7 from the 35. Throws it for the end zone. Deep down to the back of the end zone. It is caught! Touchdown! And the Seahawks take the lead. Just started the 4th quarter.
They talked a lot of trash. And at the time, they were the guys that were on the top of the league. And they were driving down the field. They were trying to win the game. We was just looking forward to the challenge.
40 seconds to play in the game. The Hawks need a stop. Shotgun for Kaepernick, takes the snap. Looks, fires near side, going for the end zone. Ball is picked up and afterward. It's picked off in the end zone. The Seahawks are NFC champions.
Well, I'm the best corner in the game. When you try me with a sorry receiver like Crabtree, that's the result you're gonna get. Don't you ever talk about me.
I just remember, like, wow, that was something like we will never forget. That moment, that play, that interview will go down as the moment of the season.
I woke up to an alarm radio.
We're talking a wind-chilled 59 degrees below zero.
Winds blowing 35 miles an hour. And I'm in my rookie year out of the University of Florida, and all I could think is, what in the world?
The eeriest thing about, because it was so cold, the game was played in silence. 50,000 people there, but everyone was wearing very thick gloves, and everyone had a scarf or some protection over their face. So even though we were screaming and yelling and cheering, you couldn't hear it.
Anderson going to throw. Touchdown, Don Bass.
The brilliance, really, of Kenny Anderson in that day, throwing the football, 35-mile-an-hour winds, 9 below zero, took us to the Super Bowl.
The Bengals are champions. And the Bengal stripes, they really earned them, didn't they?
What do you say, Super Bowl? No, Super Bowl? Super Bowl.
I mean, you couldn't ask for more. John Elway has a chance here.
So we got way behind. I think last time I remember was 21-6. I remember running on the field going, this is our one chance to prove that the 98-yarder we did in Cleveland in 1986 was no fluke.
I remember the drive. I remember watching the drive on television, but to experience it and be a part of it is something entirely different.
This game is far from over. I've seen this club move too many times to think it's over.
I hit Michael Young to give us some breathing room and then actually picked up 2 4th and 10s.
Down to 1:28. Here's the snap. He's got some time. Flush down. Rolls out. Being chased. Here's Elway. First down at the 35-yard line. 4th down and 10 play. Elway's got the ball. John is back. Runs up out of the pocket. Lets the pass go. Johnson to the 40. 35-30. Here's the snap. The kick is good! The Broncos with one of their greatest come from behind win. Denver, 26. Houston, 24.
To see him operate in that moment, it let me know then just how special number 7 was.
I spent 6 years in Tampa, got fired and went to Indianapolis in 2002. So 2003, Monday Night Football, my birthday, against the defending champions, the team that let me go.
We were really going to show out for Tony. We were going to go out there and play so good. Well, the first 3.5 quarters was an absolute disaster.
Johnson steps up, a floater that just hangs in the air, and Mike Goss picks it up, and then he fumbles, and the Bucs have it, and McCardell is going to run for his 2nd touchdown of the game. 5.5 to play, 3rd and long. A near sack again, a Romney duck. There's your interception by Romney Barber, and a touchdown.
And that seals the deal.
I went to Tom Moore, our offensive coordinator, and said, what do you think about taking the first group out so we don't get anybody hurt? And he said, I wouldn't do that if I were you.
And Munger scores. He's in for the touchdown. 35-21. Vanderjagt with a high hopper, and leaping up in the air is Bashir, and he has it.
That snowball started going in the wrong direction for us, and before we knew it, it was an avalanche.
Finding the open man, it's Harrison for the touchdown, and they're down by 1 score.
This where the legend of Peyton Manning started.
Manning deep and out in front, and catching it is Harrison. He's down to the 5-yard line.
In 4 minutes, we scored 3 touchdowns.
This is off the charts.
And the game is tied, and we're going into overtime.
And now a 29-yard attempt by Vanderjagt. He hits the upright, and it bangs through. How crazy is this?
On Tony Dungy's birthday and his homecoming.
But that game taught me, and it taught all of us, if we keep the faith, we can win.
I was opening for Bobby Kelly at a comedy club called Bananas in Hasbrook Heights, New Jersey. And of course, Murphy's Law, the game's on a Saturday when I'm working on a Saturday. I tell Bobby, I'm like, I gotta watch this game. This is the Niners. They're in the playoffs. We get to the hotel and watch the game. It's an unbelievable game.
Touchdown! Do you believe it?
Game's still going on when I go on stage. And Bobby's like, all right, if the Niners lose, I'm gonna walk in the room and go, But if the Niners win, I'll go, yip, yip.
Minute 48 to go. The 49ers lead by 5. Looking, throws a deep ball up the middle for Graham. Graham made a leaping catch. He spins away. Graham is running to the 10. 5 touchdown. Unbelievable.
So I'm on stage, and he walks in the room, and he goes, And immediately my set goes from being like a fun comedian to just being a guy talking. Where I'm like, dating's weird, and that's why dating is weird. Thank you, good night. And I get off stage, and right as I get off stage, Bobby grabs me, and he goes, I'm messing with you. The game's still going on. There's like 46 seconds left. So I run into the bar of the lobby and watch.
And the 49ers will have 1 play left here.
It was called the Vernon Post. I didn't know the Vernon Post was going to be called, but when I heard it in the huddle and we broke, I just kept saying to myself, come through, Superman, you're Superman. I had to make that play because Superman always come through.
3rd down, Alex takes the snap. Alex looking, got it. The post, and it's got it.
I went nuts. I was like,
Yeah!
Touchdown! Touchdown 49!
It's the game that everyone will remember for the rest of their lives. It all happened right there, the catch 3.
Yip, yip.
One more quarter to go. Washington 21, San Francisco nothing. Super Bowl would be next.
I think we had a shot at coming back and beating them.
Throws a pass. It's caught for a touchdown.
Montana back to throw. Going deep. And the 49ers are right back in it. Montana looking to end zone, looking for Wilson. Touchdown! This is a fantastic thing what they're doing here.
Lofts it into the air for Garrett in the end zone. Knocked away beautifully. Another flag.
Holding number 42, defense, automatic first down.
I don't know, that's awfully close to be calling that a hold.
To this day, I still say that it wasn't a holding call. And we had the time that we would have had. And I think we had a shot at coming back. Toughest loss I've ever had.
There had been some damp weather, and the field was icy. The ice was thick, but we got the jump on them. And then we saw them changing shoes. They had gone out and gotten the sneakers right away. We sensed something was wrong because they had good footing. They'd end up beating us 30-13 and went in the ball game by wearing the sneakers.
Smith to the end zone, and he's got Dwayne Bowe. Steps up in the pocket. Now he shovels it for the end zone. Sherman's got it!
I have no idea what our odds were to win. It had to be less than 1%, I'd assume.
Let's get back into it now. Let's stay in the race.
Andrew Luck is the quarterback. This super nerd can lead us back from anything.
Chiefs with a 4-touchdown lead, but all kinds of time to go. Andrew throws it out to Donald Brand. Touchdown! Andrew throws back in the end zone. Touchdown! It's never over till it's over.
We're about to punch it in, and obviously it seems as if we're about to shoot ourselves in the foot.
He will give it to Donald Brown. Donald fights his way. Now ball's loose. Oh!
A massive 4-letter word that rhymes with Andrew Luck's last name screams out quickly.
Luck picks it up, and Luck scores! Andrew picked up the fumble and scored! Talk about luck! What a comeback.
You can't make this stuff up, folks. He's winning now. Let's go, baby.
He's going to throw one way downfield to T.Y. He's got it. He's going to score. He's going to score. He's going to score. The Colts are going to win it. It's the second biggest comeback in NFL history.